Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most chilling, awe-inspiring, and frankly, mind-bending concepts out there. We are unpacking the Dear Earth letter, a global broadcast that presents humanity with literally the most consequential offer in our entire history. Now, if you've been following the massive discussions around the Alien Manifesto, you already know it's so much more than just your standard sci-fi trope. It's a profound philosophical drama wrapped right inside a tense political thriller. Our goal today? To break down the sheer massive scale of this proposal, dig into the data, and really help you grasp what is actually being offered to us, straight from the source itself. So let's jump right in. Imagine waking up, checking your feed, and plunging right into the inciting incident of a new era with these absurdly casual words. Hello, my name is Danny. I'm an alien. Just like that, the entire stage is set for a first contact scenario unlike absolutely anything we could have predicted. I mean, this isn't some hostile invasion with laser beams blasting from the sky, right? And it isn't a mysterious, silent ship just hovering ominously. It's an open, highly conversational letter from an entity claiming to represent a vast collective. Danny's introduction strips away all those big Hollywood theatrics and demands our intellectual attention immediately. He knows we're terrified, but he urges us not to be, promising absolute, undeniable proof of his identity in any language and media form we could possibly want.
All right, let's look at Act 1, a message from above.
Danny drops a massive bombshell right out of the gate. They aren't just one single alien race. We're talking about a massive collective representing 916 distinct alien species, plus thousands of unique alien-to-alien hybrid species. But what's absolutely fascinating here is the physical nature of how they arrived. They didn't show up in a standard fleet of separate organized ships. Instead, they actually brought their ships together and welded them permanently into a single massive spaceship roughly the size of a small city. It's this incredible permanent physical joining that symbolizes their total unity and their shared goal of integrating with us. 100,000 years. Yeah, you heard that right. They actually just come right out and admit that they were here on Earth 100,000 years ago trying to colonize or live alongside us. But, well, they failed. They confess that their presence back then, specifically the advanced information they shared, was completely weaponized by early mankind. It indirectly caused massive harm and destruction. Now, to be clear, they didn't cause the destruction directly. In fact, they claim they've secretly saved Earth from random space hazards multiple times since then. But they totally failed to understand human nature eons ago. So now, they've returned to rectify those ancient mistakes through absolute unflinching transparency. So, how exactly do they prove their peaceful intentions? Well, they outline a highly specific, kind of crazy diplomatic mission. Their massive HiveMind AI, which is this unified system of over 900 different artificial intelligences, has anonymously selected just 2 Earthlings. Not world leaders, not brilliant scientists, just 2 completely anonymous, average people. And those 2 get to invite 50 guests of their own choosing. Anyone they want, literally no questions asked. These 52 individuals will be invited up onto the collective ship and handed completely unrestricted access to every single piece of alien data, history, and technology. It's an unprecedented open-door policy to the secrets of the universe, which begs the question, what happens when these folks actually board this floating space city?
That brings us right into Act 2, the city in the clouds.
We really need to understand this concept of the collective spaceship. It's not a vehicle. It's a beautifully unified society. Because they permanently join their ships, these 916 species share all their resources and experiences without any physical or social barriers. They even use this incredible interspecies communication that doesn't need any digital translators. But here's the truly staggering part. They operate completely without money or political leaders. No currency, no presidents, no kings. They've evolved completely past those structures by sharing their planetary histories and building an organic system governed only by advanced tech and absolute free will. Picture this for a second. You are one of those 52 guests. You are given absolute total freedom. You can set up a 24-hour global live stream of your entire experience, broadcasting right back down to Earth using our own satellites. You can dig through the aliens' entire history, including their messy past failures here on Earth, using fully immersive virtual reality. You can even bring up our own Earth medical devices and computers to run independent tests on the aliens themselves. They have absolutely nothing to hide. Their AI permanently records all their actions, which essentially makes them completely incapable of lying. It is total, radical transparency on a galactic scale.
But as you'd expect, as these guests dig deeper, they're hit with some pretty unbelievable temptations.
And this kicks off Act 3, The Secrets of the Universe.
This creates a massive philosophical crisis between two totally different types of existence. The aliens drop this huge revelation that humans are actually already immortal through reincarnation. But there's a major catch. Every time we return in a new body, our memories are completely wiped. The aliens, on the other hand, are offering technological immortality. They figured out how to literally interrupt the human soul's reincarnation cycle. They can pull your consciousness onto their ship after death, giving you a permanent life where all your memories stay perfectly intact. They even hint that they can reanimate long-dead relatives. I mean, wow, it's the ultimate temptation, and it fundamentally challenges everything we think we know about life, death, and human existence.
But then we hit this really harsh reality check. Naturally, the 52 humans ask the aliens for help with Earth's collapsing environment. But Danny's response? It is brutally clear. He says, "We didn't make the mess. Why should we clean it up for you? We are not offering janitorial services." Ouch. The aliens possess the exact scientific knowledge to solve literally every environmental and resource issue we have right now. But they flat out refuse to intervene directly. They are perfectly willing to give us the blueprints, sure, but humanity must evolve, cooperate, and actually take the action ourselves. It's a staggering, tough love lesson in cosmic responsibility. The tension absolutely skyrockets when we realize the full extent of this free will the aliens operate under. These 52 humans aren't just tourists. They are acting as the ultimate judges for our species. The aliens explicitly state that any of the 52 guests are totally free to recommend that Earth, quote, blow them out of the fucking sky, unquote, if they determine the collective cannot be trusted. And the crazy part? The aliens wouldn't even fight back. They'd just take the hint and leave. They are handing us the ultimate power to reject them entirely, banking everything on the hope that our better judgment will finally win out over our historical paranoia. Because the burden of this massive choice doesn't just fall on those 52 delegates. It falls on every single human being alive. Which brings us to the tipping point. Act 4, the global vote. To resolve the inevitable chaos erupting down on Earth. I mean, you could imagine the intense clashes between believers and non-believers. The aliens propose a surprisingly structured solution, a totally global vote. They offer to provide the technology for DNA-verifying devices or AI-linked voting systems to ensure absolute, unbreakable fairness. Every single human on Earth gets exactly one vote. It completely bypasses nations, borders, and politicians, just raw democracy. The majority of the human race will impartially decide the fate of both our worlds.
But Danny doesn't sugarcoat it. He issues a massive warning about what a yes vote actually means for us. Integrating their universe-altering data, their infinite technology, and this concept of immortality will, in his exact words, completely and utterly destroy the current political, social, and economic structures of the Earth, temporarily. Think about the invention of the printing press or the internet and multiply that disruption by 1,000, happening all at once, everywhere. It will wipe the slate clean for human society, essentially forcing us to rebuild from the ground up without money or traditional leaders, just like they had to do.
The stakes are just beautifully simple and entirely binary here. If Earth votes no, there's no dramatic invasion, no war of the worlds. The aliens just gracefully depart, accepting they aren't welcome, and maybe they just circle indefinitely out in the cosmos. But if Earth votes yes, the first wave comes down. They share their tech, they assimilate into our cultures, they even take normal human jobs to support themselves. The entire fate of human evolution hinges on a simple yes or no. So let's explore what actually happens if Earth votes yes.
Let's look at the epilogue, the integration plan.
Because here is the ultimate twist. The aliens' goal isn't conquest or domination or taking our resources. They genuinely just want to join humanity. They plan to return to Earth in completely human physical forms, but possessing their alien consciousness and vast intelligence. They literally want to get normal jobs, earn their own income, and just integrate totally anonymously into our everyday society. You could be sitting on the subway next to a 100,000-year-old alien intelligence, and you would literally never know. They want the human experience, everything from the totally mundane to the deeply profound.
Now, why would they want this so badly? Why give up their perfect society in the clouds? They reveal this incredibly endearing, almost poetic detail. They are absolutely obsessed with Earth humor. They watch it, they study it, they love it. But when they asked their massive 900-plus AI systems to artificially generate new humor, it completely failed. As Danny notes, there is an aspect the code could not duplicate, the human aspect. Our perceived emotions are just significantly more complex than what they experience. And laughter, genuine, spontaneous laughter, is the ultimate prize their perfect tech just cannot synthesize. Just try to picture this endgame for a second. Imagine a future, years after the integration, where an alien living a totally mundane, everyday life in a human body is sitting anonymously in a crowded comedy club or a packed stadium. And right there, completely surrounded by us, they finally feel it. They experience the genuine, uncontrollable human joy of laughter. It's the one singular emotion their vast, immortal intellect and perfect AI could never, ever artificially generate on that cold, flawless ship. Which leaves us with a massive, provocative final question to ponder. If a collective of 900+ AI systems, armed with the literal secrets of the universe, technological immortality, and infinite science, still looks at a simple human laugh as the ultimate unreachable treasure, what truly defines our identity? Perhaps this messy, emotional, deeply flawed human experience is actually the most valuable resource in the entire cosmos. Definitely something to think about the next time you share a laugh with a friend. That's all for this explainer. Keep asking the big questions, and we'll see you next time.